Hello learners, my name is Ramnath Gaukar, Assistant Professor in Geography at Ganpat Parsikar College of Education. I welcome you all to this course on Introduction to Research Methodology in Geography. This will be module number 2 and today we are going to discuss on the topic Research Design and Review of Literature. So outline of this presentation is we are going to discuss on the different types of research design, what do you mean by research design, and what are the different benefits of research design, meaning of literature review, sources of literature review, what are the steps which are involved in writing research literature review, conclusion. Now first let us understand in the introductory section what do you mean by a research design. A design means a plan or a blueprint which gives a fair idea about how the research is going to be conducted. According to William Zygmunt, research design is defined as a master plan specifying the methods and procedure for collecting and analyzing the needed information. A research design is defined as the overall plan or structure that guides the process of conducting research. It is a critical component of the research process and serves as a blueprint for how a study will be going to carried out, including the methods and techniques that will be used to collect and analyze data. A well-designed research study is essential for ensuring that the research objectives are met and that the results are valid and reliable. Research design is a blueprint of collection, measurement and analysis of data. It is the conceptual structure within which research is conducted. Need for a research design. Research design is needed because it facilitates the smooth sailing of the various research operations, thereby making research as efficient as possible, yielding maximum information with minimal expenditure of effort, time and money. It helps to decide upon issues like what, when, where, how and by what means, etc. with regards to research study. Generally, the design which minimizes bias and maximizes the reliability of the data collected and analyzed is considered a good design. It helps the researcher to complete the objectives of the study in a given time. It reduces inaccuracy. It helps to get maximum efficiency and reliability. Helpful for collecting research materials. Now what are the different features of a good research design? Okay, it is a plan which specifies the sources and types of data relevant to the research problem. It is a strategy which decides the approach that will be used to collect and analyze the data. It acts as a means of obtaining information. The objective and nature of problem is to be studied. Okay, it helps the researcher in various ways. Okay, since the most of the research studies are conducted under these two controls, that is the time and cost budget. We have to take into consideration these two aspects. Okay, when it comes to research design. What are the different processes of research design? Now it considers your aims and approaches. Okay, so it determines the research questions and objectives and identify the theoretical framework. The second one is choose a type of research design. Okay, so we have to select the type of research design according to the area of study or according to the topic. So selection of topic is appropriate. Okay, such as experimental, non-experimental, correlational, case study based research designs. Okay, there are different types of research design. Third step or process is to identify area to be studied or population and sampling method. So you have to determine the target of population or area to be studied and sample size. Okay, and choose the sampling method such as random, stratified, random sampling or convenience sampling. So next one is you have to choose your data collection methods. Okay, so decide on the methods such as which methods to apply, such as surveys, interviews, observations, experiments, and appropriate instruments and tools for collecting data. Okay, what are the tools that are needed to collect data? For instance, okay, in when collecting geographical location, okay, we use GPS devices, okay, to collect the latitude and longitude of a particular place. So next one is develop a plan for data collection, including time frame and ensure ethical considerations. The last but not the least, decide your data analysis strategies. Okay, select the appropriate data analysis techniques such as statistical analysis or content analysis. So there are different types of research design. Okay, it is broadly classified into two major categories, that is qualitative research design and quantitative research design. In qualitative research design, okay, it is basically expressed in words as such. Okay, it is used to understand concepts, thoughts or experiences. So this type of research enables you to gather in depth insights on topics that are not well understood. The common qualitative methods include interviews with open-ended questions, observations which describes in words, and literature reviews that explore concepts and theories. So researchers rely on qualitative observation research methods that conclude why a particular theory exists and what respondents have to say about it. On the other hand, we have quantitative research design. Quantitative research is expressed in numbers and graphs. It is used to test or confirm theories and assumptions. This type of research can be used to establish generalizable facts about a topic. Common quantitative methods include experiments, observations recorded as numbers, and surveys with close-ended questions. The main difference over here is in qualitative research design we use open-ended questions as such. It allows the user to express his own views regarding a particular topic. On the other hand, with regards to quantitative research design, close-ended questions are used, okay, which does not allow the user or the respondent to share his views regarding a particular topic. So on the basis of quantitative research design, okay, it is further classified into two types, okay, that is experimental research design and non-experimental research design. Now what do you mean by this experimental research design? So it basically investigates the interaction between independent and dependent variable. Now we have to understand what is independent and dependent variable. These are two important variables as such. We will understand with the help of an example. Let's suppose there is a patient with pain, okay, and on the other hand we are having a doctor, okay, which gives painkiller injection to this patient with pain, right? So that painkiller injection itself is a dependent variable, okay. On the other hand we are having independent variable as patient with pain. So the researcher is trying to basically observe the effects of dependent variable on the independent variable. Now let us take one more example with regards to this. Okay, there is a child, okay, a crying child, and on the other hand, okay, a researcher is trying to give a chocolate to this crying child, and he is trying to observe the behavior of this crying child and what the dependent variable is affecting the in which way the dependent variable is affecting the behavior of crying child. Okay, so that is with regards to experimental research design. Research design is classified majorly into two types, okay, that is quantitative research design and qualitative research design. Okay, under quantitative research design it is further divided, okay, classified into several types, okay, that is experimental research design and non-experimental research design. What do you mean by this experimental research design? Experimental research design is nothing but where the researcher is trying to investigate the interaction between the independent and dependent variable. Now what do you mean by this independent and dependent We'll understand with the help of example. Okay, suppose there is a crying child, okay, and on the other hand, okay, a researcher is trying to observe the behavior of crying child. Okay, so he tries to give a chocolate to the crying child, and on that basis he is observing the phenomena whether the dependent variable is affecting the behavior or the independent variable, that is the crying child. Okay, so in experimental research design there are three characteristics, important characteristics that we need to understand. So these are manipulation. Okay, just now I have explained you regarding manipulation about the dependent and independent variable. So one more example with regards to dependent and independent variable is that during summer season there is increase of sale of air conditioner, that is AC. Okay, so now the researcher will try to investigate what is the effect or why this sale of air conditioners are increasing only during the summer season. Okay, it may be due to increase in heat or temperature. So that is example with regards to dependent or independent variable which comes under manipulation. The second characteristics of experimental research design is randomization. Okay, randomization is nothing but sudden selection of samples. Okay, sudden selection, each one is having equal chance of getting selected. Let's take example with regards to class. Okay, if the teacher is selecting the students from a particular class, then each of the students pertaining to that particular class is having equal possible chance of getting selected. So that is nothing but randomization. The third characteristics with regards to experimental research design is control group. Okay, control group are nothing but we have to understand what do you mean by this control group and experimental group. If the teacher is giving, if suppose the teacher is giving test to students pertaining to one class, then before giving test, the teacher will try to divide the students into two groups. Okay, that will be experimental, and on the other hand we are having control group. So before giving test, the teacher will conduct a lecture, okay, only for the experimental group. Okay, so on that basis the teacher will analyze the performances of students. So that is the basic difference between control group and experimental group. So non-experimental research design are also classified into different types. Okay, that is descriptive research design, correlational research design, development research design, survey research design, right? So when we are talking experimental research design, all three characteristics will be included in true experimental research design. Only two characteristics will be included in quasi-experimental research design, and in pre-experimental research design, only the manipulation will be there. Okay, there won't be any randomization or control group as such. So in non-experimental research design, again it is classified into different types. Now what do you mean by this descriptive research design? Descriptive research design are nothing but in this case the researcher is examining or documenting or describing the thing which are naturally happening. Okay. On the other hand, we are having correlational research design. Correlational research design basically affecting or it is trying to the researcher is basically trying to explain, or it is trying to examine or observe the relation. For instance, we'll take one example with regards to this. The researcher will try to understand the relation between the land use land cover, impact of land use land cover on the land surface temperature. Okay, it may be due to the devegetation. Okay, so development research design. Okay, in development research design, time is very important. The researcher is examining particular thing at a particular time. Okay, so these are different types of research designs. Okay. On the other hand, we are having qualitative research design. It is also classified into several types, like phenomenological research design, okay, ethnographic research, grounded theory, case studies, historical research, action research. What are the benefits of research design? Clarity of research objectives. Research design provides a clear understanding of the research objectives and the desired outcomes. So, increase validity and reliability. To ensure the validity and reliability of results, research design helps to minimize the risk of bias and helps to control extraneous variables. Improved data collection. Research design helps to ensure that the proper data is collected and data is collected systematically and consistently. Better data analysis. Research design helps ensure that the collected data can be analyzed effectively, providing meaningful insights and conclusions. Improved communication. A well-designed research helps ensure the results are clean and influential within the research team and external stakeholders. The efficient use of resources. Reducing the risk of waste and maximizing the impact of the research. Research design helps to ensure that the resources are used efficiently. Conclusion. Okay, there are several research designs and the researcher must decide in advance of collection and analysis of data as to which design would prove to be more appropriate for this research project. He or she must give due weight to various points such as the type of universe and its nature, the objective of his study, the resource list or the sampling frame, desired standard of accuracy and the like when taking a decision in respect of the design for his research project. Now, what do you mean by literature review? So, literature meaning work or writings of others and review meaning analysis. Literature review ideally is the first step when it comes to writing a research paper or thesis. It provides theoretical background to your study. It enables you to identify research inconsistencies, gap, problem pertaining to your field of study. Literature review is a part of paper, thesis, dissertation which comes after introduction and before methodology section. It gives us a clarity of thought about what needs to be done in specific field of study while conducting a research. So how do we go about writing a literature review? That we will understand in further slide. So there are few steps which are involved when it comes to writing a literature review. The first step, an important step, is to choose your topic. Then you have to identify different databases which are available and resources. So you will have to search for research articles or PhD thesis. You will get n number of research articles and PhD theses pertaining to your topic. For example, if you are working on the topic title as land use, land cover, then you will get n number of research articles like specifically pertaining to that particular topic, such as impact of land use, land cover, impact of land use, land cover on land surface temperature, or watershed management development. So you have to carefully search and choose your literature when it comes to resources. So read and analyze. You have to read carefully and analyze, and the last but not the least, the final step is to write a review of the literature. Sources of literature review. Make a detailed list of all the sources, which includes books, published research papers in reputed journals and internet websites which offer literature pertaining to your field of study. In other words, compile a bibliography which is relevant to your topic. So there are basically two sources, primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources include first-hand information, and it is the information which does not consist any citation as such. It is a pure source of knowledge presented by the researcher. On the other hand, we are having secondary sources. Okay, the information which is taken from available writings is known as secondary sources. In this case, most of the researchers are trying to just copy the literature review which is readily available and which is done by different authors, okay, which is there in different articles as such. Okay, they are basically just trying to copy whatever that is there in some other, okay, in some other articles as such. So how to write a review of literature? As a part of introduction section, first introduce the topic and explain why is even that topic worth reviewing. Share certain important terms and concepts that will be highlighted in your review. How the information is being categorized into different topics. You can also share research gap or problem statement. What are the class of research papers that you are going to review or not review, and what is the reason behind it? By doing so, you will set the boundary of your literature review. Finally, state the scope of your review. This is example of how to write a literature review, which I have taken it from Dr. Manoj Ibrampurkar PhD thesis, titled as Hydrological and Hydrological Evaluation of Madai River Watershed in Goa and Karnataka. Key points need to take into consideration while writing review of literature. Simply stating and citing literature, what other people have done, will not be enough. Instead of that, he or she need to share the analysis of what other researchers have done, and also don't forget to share your own point of view. Try to share your interpretation wherever possible, and also discuss the significance of the findings and with respect to your research objectives. Try to group some of the literature and highlight or emphasize on their key findings. Critically evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the different sources to give a complete evaluation. In this way, you will be able to go a deeper level of understanding about previous researches. Now, organization or arrangement of review of literature is very important. You can organize review of literature in chronological order. Okay, you can also organize it in a thematic or based on the topics like sustainable watershed development, socio-economic analysis of a watershed, spatial temporal changes of a watershed, and on the basis of methodology also you can organize a review of literature. Okay, now to conclude, final section of literature review is the conclusion. Before you write conclusion, make sure to add important details mentioned below. Mention the purpose of literature review. What were some of the important questions that you were trying to answer? What were the findings that you came across after doing an extensive literature? So give your thought about how can this research field be taken forward. What is the plan of action that you have arrived at, which will help in overcoming the research gap or the problem statement, which forms the objective of your study. Overall significance or gist of the literature. Okay, so you have to give a general idea of what other people have done it pertaining to that particular topic. So the question arises over here is that how many papers should I read for my literature review? So there are no specified numbers as such, but if you are doing it for the college project or if you are doing dissertation, then it is suggested that you should review at least 20 to 30 research articles. Okay, it depends, it varies on person. Okay, it depends on which topic you are going to conduct the research. It depends on the level of understanding of the researcher pertaining to a particular topic on which he or she is going to conduct the research. These are my references which I have referred. For further understanding and reading, you can also refer to these references. Thank you for watching this video.